sense is that we are good volunteers by birth. All we need to do is tell our story. And our story is that we serve from our heart.
To me, volunteering means dedication, service, and wholeheartedness.
Volunteering has helped me be a leader in my community outside of Jamaat Khana.
As an Ismaili volunteer, I like to help people inside of Jamaat Khana and outside.
I began volunteering when I was 9 years old. Volunteering has taught me skills like being a team player and being more of a leader, and has helped me become more outgoing on a day-to-day basis.
من بسیار خوش هستم که والنتیر هستم و مدت 4 سال میشه که خدمت میکنم. من بسیار خوش هستم از صمیم قلب تا خوشنودی مولانا حضروان به دست آوردیم.
یعنی ما به جماعت عزیز و افتخار میکنیم که رضاکار جماعت خانه کار میکنیم و تقریبا 2 سال است که در جماعت خانه رضاکار هستیم و از مولا زمان میخواهیم که همگی را قوت توانایی بده تا جماعت خانه خدمت کنه.
खिदमत के लिए हम लोगों को कोई पोस्ट या कोई यूनिफॉर्म की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है.
Connected.
To impact the lives of others. Share my skills with the Jamaat. To grow my passion to serve. To be one Jamaat. And to be the backbone of the Jamaat.
Grounded in the teachings of the Quran Sharif, the ethic of service is a part of the very fabric of the Muslim culture. The concept of volunteerism is one that was exemplified by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in his daily life as he cared for all those around him.
Volunteerism, let me tell you, has been from the time of Prophet Muhammad. It is a seva that we offer to our Imam.
This 1400-year-long tradition of service has carried on in the Shia Ismaili culture from generation to generation. The Ismaili Volunteer Corps, founded in 1919 in Bombay, British India, is part of this tradition of service. For the past century, Ismaili uniformed volunteers of all ages have continued to serve the Imam, the Jamaat, and the communities amongst whom they live. Initiated by the members of the Vidya Vinod Club, the first formalized uniform volunteer organization was instituted in British India in 1919, known then as His Highness the Aga Khan's Bombay Volunteer Corps. The initial purpose of the uniform volunteers was the safety and security of the Jamaat and to organize the Imam's events and visits. As more and more youth wanted to give of their time, Ismaili Scouting was established. Today, the Ismaili Volunteer Corps has grown into an international, organized body of hundreds and thousands of volunteers across the globe, continuing their dedication to service. As the Jamaats moved to different parts of the world, the work of the volunteers evolved, but the spirit of volunteers remained unchanged.
In 1964, a group of 6 or 7 students came, and they were the first Ismailis to come to the United States, and they settled in Chicago. And then few more students came, so they came in small chunks. There was not a very large Jamaat, and they used to meet for Jamaat Khana informally. in someone's home.
On February 8, 1968, Maulana Hazar Imam approved the establishment of the first Jamaat Khana in the United States.
We had the tradition of Jamaat Bhai, and Jamaat Bhai played a significant role in terms of keeping the Jamaat Khana open, taking care of the Jamaati affairs, keeping track of the Jamaats and everything else. So that was a tradition carried over from the Jamaats from other parts of the world. There were two parallel positions, both volunteer positions, but each had a different function. Volunteer used to manage traffic, manage people, manage space, whereas Jamaat Bhai would take care of the Jamaati affairs.
During that time, as I'd mentioned, students had come from East Africa, and strange or funny, they had the uniform that in the school that comprised of gray pant and white shirt and blue jacket. So in 1968, when the Jamaat was established, Jamaat Khana was established, there were some students who would give duty, and they would wear this uniform that we see today. Mukhi Sahibs at the time would bring in their car 2 suitcases. Now these are hard suitcases, and those suitcases actually had everything that we would need to operate a Jamaat Khana. So I remember we used to go out to Mukhi Sahib's car, get those bags out, the suitcases, bring it to the hall, and these halls were public halls. So first of all, the volunteers at the time, majority of them were non-uniformed volunteers, at the time would clean the hall first, and after the cleaning was done, we would remove the sheets, and we would lay down the sheets on the carpet, on the floor. We would take out all other items from the suitcases. Again, volunteers were the backbone in making sure that Jamaat Khana was set up properly on time before Jamaats came. Not only that, but also they were available if Jamaat or the family needed some assistance.
In the early 1970s, New York City was a melting pot of cultures and offered a wealth of economic opportunities, attracting more Ismailis wanting to settle in the United States. In the early 70s, the Ismaili Volunteer Corps was officially formed in New York following the establishment of the Council for the USA. Muhammad Ramzan was appointed as the first major in New York and continues to be a uniformed volunteer today.
And we rented this place on Broadway. We had not enough support, money, or because all of us were students and we didn't know what to do. So we decided, okay, we're going to build it ourselves. We would build the wall, the pot, the ceiling, everything that you can see was our doing. They just practically lived there to make sure that it got done.
Through the late 70s and early 80s, organized uniformed volunteers were established in other cities.
I am from Uganda, East Africa, and been in Atlanta for 46 years. We came here first in 1973. And at that time there was Jamaat of just 32 students Jamaat. And when we started there was no uniform, and then it came that we have to wear a blue skirt and a white shirt with the blue ribbon on it.
The tireless effort and dedication to their duties and a sense of volunteer camaraderie also shine through as volunteers from across the country work together to ensure that Maulana Hazar Imam's first visit to the United States was successful.
Silver Jubilee is the first time ever Maulana Hazar Imam gave mulaqat to United States Jamaat, first ever. And he came first to Chicago. Volunteers played phenomenal role, as always they are. They are the backbone of our institutions and our Jamaat.
Over the course of 25 years between Maulana Hazri Imam's silver and golden jubilees, many more migrated to different parts of the United States. Jamaat not only continued to come from parts of Africa, Pakistan, and India, but also from other countries in conflict. Whatever their origins, the spirit of volunteerism was common among all.
During the Civil War in 1998, when we migrated to Peshawar, Pakistan, so first time when I went to Jamaat Khana and I see the volunteers there, and they were helping all the Afghan families there and others, so I was really inspired that we see, like, however we are from a different country, but the volunteers are helping us very like our own. When you do the service with passion, with love, with heart, you will receive the return at any cost. There is nothing that can stop.
The Ismaili Volunteer Corps has evolved over the years through the organizational structure, nomenclature, definition of duties, and uniforms. In keeping with the needs of the Jamaat, the work of volunteers has also evolved.
Safety volunteer is exactly what the name implies. We are here for Jamaat safety. We take care of the facility outside while the Jamaat Khana members can be inside Jamaat Khana. So therefore we take care of everybody that comes in. We make sure the premises are safe. That is our normal day-to-day routine for what a safety volunteer does. And believe me, there is no such thing as it's hot, it's rainy, it's cold, it's okay, we don't need it. No, it doesn't work like that in safety. When you're outside, we're here for the long haul, whether it's whatever elements are thrown at us.
Over the decades, thousands of non-uniform volunteers have also continued to serve the Jamaat and wider communities. Early childhood education and religious education teachers nurture children and young adults to help prepare them for a brighter future, while also helping them gain a deeper understanding of our faith. Other volunteers help adults and seniors learn new technologies and other practical life skills to gain economic success. Hundreds of Aga Khan Foundation volunteers across the country help prepare the sites for partnership walks and bring their friends, families, and neighbors to give time, knowledge, expertise, and resources that directly help build better futures across Africa and Asia. The recent Jubilees of Maulana Hazri Imam saw thousands of volunteers, young and old, from all regions of the United States come together to serve as one Jamaat.
I also really loved when I volunteered at both Golden and Diamond Jubilee. I was doing separate things. In Golden Jubilee, I remember being one of the servers for the Golden Jubilee Cafe, and I felt like I was like a barista at Starbucks, but it was obviously not. And then at Diamond Jubilee, I was in charge of shoes. So before they went into the prayer hall, I had to make sure that each member had a shoe or a shoe bag. But I love volunteering, and I think that I've done so many different aspects of it, and each one has been more and more fulfilling.
I was at the age of 6 when I started waiting, and I was looking up to my grandmother, and it was really like waiting and anxious to give back to the community. And then I think this was a birthday present. My first day of duty of serving in this uniform was the day of the Molakat. It was amazing how and I was so pumped to give back and collect trash, and whatever she said to do, I did it in an instant.
Speaking at the World Volunteer Conference at Edmonton in 1998, Princess Zara spoke of the concept of service in the tradition of our faith. In the Shia Ismaili Muslim tradition, voluntary service to others is viewed as an integral and positive part of daily life, and never as a burdensome obligation or an elective activity. Service is a means for each individual to actualize Islam's ethics of inclusiveness, of compassion, of sharing, of the respect for life, and of personal responsibility for sustaining a healthy physical, social, and cultural environment. Generosity is fundamental to this concept of volunteerism. Generosity of material resources, of time, of thought, and of knowledge. For over 5 decades, Ismaili volunteers in the U.S. have embodied this ethic of service by not only serving the Imam and the Jamaat, but by being active in civil society, working in diverse fields and contributing their time, knowledge, and material resources for the betterment of the community and the societies amongst whom they live.
In early 80s, Jamaat, particularly volunteers, scouts, were quite a bit active in the outreach side. They used to help out in mayors' organized programs. I'm talking about actual city programs. So it has started then, and we have continued. So now, if you look at where we are after few decades, our activities in the outreach area has multiplied many times.
This ethos of volunteerism is rooted in the idea that we are all of a common humanity, and thus we must work together to better our collective society.
It's the month of Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving is for sharing, and we're sharing it to the people who cannot afford food for this month.
Over the years, Ismaili community engaged in responsible volunteering, iServe, has collaborated with local organizations to help those in need.
Tremendous amount of need and scale to the problem we're trying to fight together today. And what we're excited about is to see a local community come together in the spirit of community to embrace the challenge of solving a huge problem like hunger yourselves locally, and to take responsibility for that and to work together to say, hey, we're going to make this, our community, a better place.
In the wake of Hurricane Harvey, more than 2,500 volunteers in Houston, Texas, assembled to turn the Ismaili Jamaat Khana and Center into a pivotal hub for the city to fuel recovery efforts and comfort people in need.
But candidly, with this group here today, I will tell you that an award that the Ismaili community received means a lot to us. And that is an award for one of the points of light that was presented by 5 past living presidents of the United States to the Ismaili community right here in the greater Houston area for the profound way that the community stepped up and aided the people of Houston and Harris County and this entire region in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. It is symbolic of the ways that our 2 communities have collaborated so well together. But also your focus on, in your remarkable achievements, on volunteerism. And what I have personally been able to observe by your leaders in Texas are a shining example of what that's all about.
Not only have Ismaili volunteers in the U.S. served the Jamaat and the communities within which we reside, but many have offered time and knowledge to help improve the quality of life of people living in other parts of the world.
Well, when Hazri Imam opened up this TKN opportunity, and there was a need here specifically for what I was doing, and I was at the point in my career that I had to make a decision whether I should continue doing what I am doing, or should I go ahead and offer my gratitude to the Imam by way of TKN for what he had done for us for more than 50 years. So I thought that was an opportunity for me to serve and help the institution.
I am fortunate to lead an international community with a strong social conscience, bridging north and south, east and west. The Ismailis have a long tradition of philanthropy, self-reliance, and voluntary service. Wherever they live, they faithfully abide by the Quranic ethic of a common humanity and a dignity of man. They willingly pool knowledge and resources with all those who share our social ethic to help improve the quality of life of less fortunate men, women, and children.
डायमंड जुबली के टाइम पे रासड़ा खेलते खेलते मेरा हाथ फ्रैक्चर हो गया। फिर वो हिसाब से पहले तो मैंने बहुत नर्वस हो गई कि मैं क्या करूँगी, पर मौला ने मेरे को इतनी हिम्मत दी कि डायमंड जुबली के टाइम पे मेरे सीनियर को व्हील चेयर चलाने की भी मेरे को याली मामा ने हिम्मत दी। प्लस मेरा ग्रैंडसन मेरे साथ में रहकर ने हम लोग, मैं गार्बेज बैग उठाती थी और वो सब पूरा गार्बेज बैग में डाल के ना हम लोग ये सेवा भी शुक्र मौला के।
My message for the youth is definitely become a volunteer. You will have such a feeling of belonging, a fellowship, a brothership, something greater.
I started Seva since I was able to recognize this word. Volunteer means inclusiveness, compassion, sharing, respect.
Always stay on task, never goof around, do your job and then have fun after.
What I have learned from my mom in volunteerism is no duty is big or small. Volunteerism is volunteerism. You do not have to wear a uniform to be a volunteer. You can just sit down and listen to somebody who is having a bad day. That's also volunteerism. Bringing a smile on somebody's face is serving.
Can you hear my heart beating? Can you hear it calling? Can you feel the longing? Your presence is calming. The way you share